All right, it's showtime. Oh man, first live of the year. So I'm gonna kind of play with this real quick before anybody gets on because I want to see if I can see it and then share it instantaneously so that I can have multiple viewers across my personal page and the group. So bear with me. Oh yeah, this is gonna be perfect. Sorry for the shaking. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. I got this thing. I got this thing like attached, like it's like a snake that's supposed to hold it. But when I hit the table, the shit moves. But we're gonna get through it. We're just gonna call it technical difficulty first of the year, right? So nobody listens to Lance. First episode of the year. I'll try to keep my hands off the desk table. All right, so in I always do this because my old co-host used to do it. So make sure you got your drink. I also want to show this off. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that. Is that not the coolest shit ever? I got that for Christmas. Fucking love it. Captain America is my favorite Avenger. I love it. So in today's drink, I have some Malibu, some strawberry, white wait, white cranberry, white strawberry cranberry juice, and grape Ciroc and apple Ciroc. So we're gonna get loose and have a good time. So I wanted to start with a little structure because normally I'm a little bit all over the place, but I want to take a minute to shout out a few of my friends that do business, like they have businesses, right? So I want to say that anybody on the feed today, if there's a business that you do, please drop the link because this is how we make this is how we make each other rich. This is how we keep the money amongst friends, and that's So I am your platform, um, and I'm gonna read these in no particular order. Um, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tag them so that they can drop their shit. So bear with me. I appreciate you guys. Janelle, what's up, man? Trap, what's up, man? How you living, brother? Hope you are doing well. So we got my friend Shika Bloomfield, right? Let's see here. And get these people tagged, get them some exposure. Shika makes wine, right? She's probably gonna kill me that I'm not drinking some of her wine right now, but I do have some of her wine, and it is really good. Um, and I'm gonna just give him a shout as I tag him. Um, just tag my boy Reggie. Um, he is a realtor, so for your real estate needs, please give him a shout, as well as um, Tiana Neal. She also is a realtor. Let me slide back over here so I can tag the next person. My boy Zoe Clark. He does insurance, right? My boy Brandon Jones. And again, anybody else who has a business, please drop it right now. Brandon Jones and let's see, Pamela. Pamela Gregory. She does like vacations and shit. This is what I decided I want to do before I get to like topics and shit, right? Sharita Redmond. She also does like travel stuff like that as well. Um, and then now I'm just gonna tag some people that had some questions. So let's talk about the questions. The questions come from a group, Truth Be Told, and some of these people are on my friends list. They submitted the questions. We're going to discuss the questions live. At some point, I may add someone onto the screen to have a little dialogue. So this is something that I used to do weekly, and like once my mom got sick, I just kind of got away from it. But I feel like she would want me to continue. So here I am doing so. So let's get to it, shall we? I hope everybody had a good New Year. Happy holiday. You know, I hope everybody had a good Christmas. And if not, you're gonna have a better fucking tomorrow. Okay? So we're gonna be positive. Only positive vibes over here. It's so weird to hold my hands up because I don't want to hit the damn table. That's so weird. That's obviously a design flaw that I got to take care of. All right, so we're gonna get to it, right? These questions are in no particular order. Right at the top of the list, I know that this is a very trending question. It comes from Monica Harris, so I want to tag her in case she wants to hop in and discuss. And if I tag the wrong person because I got friends with multiple names, like, don't talk no shit. We're not doing that. All right. So Monica Harris, will you or will you not take the COVID-19 vaccination? Why or why not? I'm going to repeat it. From Monica Harris, will you or will you not take the COVID-19 vaccine? Why or why not? Now, I'm just going to say that I have a lot of friends that have taken the COVID-19 vaccine, and they haven't had any adverse effects that I'm aware of. Now, I understand that it's two parts. So you get one shot, and then there's a second shot approximately 21 days later. I understand that there's two types of brands. I don't know the names of the brands, but I do understand that there's two kinds. I don't know what determines who gets what or whatever the case may be, but no issues. Now, that's not to say that there aren't any issues, obviously, because I read an article. I guess there was a hospital, maybe in Ohio, Pennsylvania, somewhere, where, you know, I'm sure we all saw the video where the lady like passes out right after she gets it. I'm a numbers guy, right? So if somebody said, I'm gonna use a round number, 100. If somebody said, Lance, you have a 5% chance of being immortal, but if you don't, like if you take the shot, you're immortal, but if there's a 5% chance that you die, I'd still take the fucking shot. Lance, I give you a shot. You have a 5% chance of dying. If you live, you get $1 million. I'd take the fucking shot. Now, I'm a numbers guy. I mean, again, everyone may not agree with that, but if I have the opportunity to take it, which I think that I will, because of what I do, I think I'm gonna do it personally. So for me, the answer to the question is yes, I will take the COVID-19 vaccine. um, because I think the risk is worth the reward. Now, we've seen things where they say, "Hey, you're gonna need this to travel," um, and that's when it's gonna really, that's when it's really gonna hit home, because some people, they'll tell you no, they don't want to take it, but they want to go to Jamaica or they want to go to Greece. Well, I mean, you got a decision to make. Um, Now I understand that some people are waiting. Like I've heard some friends say, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I just want to wait and see if there's more data because I feel like it was rushed." I get that. That's totally fair. But again, I feel comfortable with the data now. So again, I would take it now. I know a lot of my friends that are in the medical field, they've taken it. So far, so good. But what do you guys think? Do I have anyone in here that would not take it? That does not want to take it? What's up, Lake? Hmm. Side note. So I want to talk about something completely off the list. My friends with these crazy ass names, y'all need to fix that shit. Do not be hopping on my live or send me a friend request. I accept your friend request, and then I see you in the mall somewhere, and then I don't speak to you because I'm not gonna call you getting it how I live it Johnson. I'm not doing that shit. So if I have any friends out here, yes, I'm talking to y'all. I didn't see any scrolling through. I don't want to touch the phone because it's gonna shake. Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that this year. And it's crazy because Facebook actually got on me about having my name incorrect. Literally, they blocked my account and everything. But I see all my friends with these ratchet ass names. I don't understand. Like, why they get away with it? I don't know. Hmm. But Amber, what's up, cousin? Congratulations again. And Amber, would you take the COVID-19 vaccination? Is that something that you're gonna do? Again, I'm not immediately. Well, you know what? If they said it to me today, I would still take it. That or not. So yes, 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 yes. Take it. Take the vaccine. But I'm gonna move on. Um, and again, that was from Monica Harris. So let me just check that off. Monica, your question did get asked. They don't know how long the COVID-19 vaccine lasts, or at least they haven't stated in documents I've read. I'm on the fence. So, Adrian, do you feel like, based on your profession, if they told you, because I know that you love what you do, I know that you love what you do, would you, if they said, hey, either take the vaccine or find another job, what would you do? Would you do that because you love what you do, or would you say, you know what, maybe this is not the best thing for me right now? I'd like to know your answer. Um, so I have to tag another person here because I'm going to actually ask her question. I can't be no worse than when I took in the military for anthrax and smallpox. You know what, Janelle? That's a very good point. And I mean, obviously, um, and I'm glad you said it because I often don't say, if I know what you do, I typically don't say. I just say, what you do for a living or whatever. So, um, and my cousin Amber is in the military as well, which is why I asked her uh, about it at Wow, where I just said I wouldn't tell anybody what they do, and I just said my cousin. Forgive me. We'll charge it to drink, but um, being military, that's And so the question a lot of people ask is, like I just asked Adrian, would you, if you were required to take this? So we have people that are in military, you know, 25 years. Do you walk away from a career? And I don't know how like the pension and all that works. You know, is this even is this even constitutionally right? Because it's damn sure it's not morally right. You can't. Your employer should not be able to force you. And I don't know if they can. I'm just speaking. But Miss Hamilton, I am, especially if they tell me I need to take it in order to leave this ratchet ass country. Travel Bay. I get it, because I have a lot of friends that travel. And again, well, I mean, you ain't even blink. So, um, I mean, if you want to explore the world, if you want your children to explore the world, you have to do it. I mean, there's no way around it. So, I think that there'll be a point where eventually we all, get to that point. But I mean, we really, who knows what that is? I mean, I think that Mr. Biden's plan is to get, I guess the slogan that they're using is a 100 million in 100 days. Um, I think that the vaccine is cool, but I think that from a technological piece, that's where we need to improve, at least here in the United States. We have to. So if you look at some of the technology they use, like in like China and stuff like that, uh, that helps in curbing this. You know what I'm saying? But um, so does getting on it early, and we won't discuss why the United States wasn't able to identify this. Well, actually, we were able to identify it. We won't get into why we didn't proactively address it. I think that we all know why, but we'll save politics for another live. Sharita, so I was tagging my friends that do stuff, um, businesses and stuff, and so I mentioned you and your travel agency. I don't know if that's the right term, but for the ignorant people, that's what we call it. So drop your link, and um, maybe someone can give you some business. So, Adrian, me being unsure about it, I would not want to mandate. Let's see. Me being unsure about it, but I would not want. I'm sorry. So the white lettering against my shirt, this part of the shirt is hard to read. It's weird because I actually have a laptop right in front of me. I can read it there. Me being unsure about it, I would not want a mandate saying that I would, because we have a choice. My health is more important than my career. Uh, I dig it. And you know what? I think that a lot of people, we neglect ourselves and don't say that right there. We got to love us some, because a lot of times the companies won't. Shatoya, what we got here? I'm not interested in taking it, but I do love to travel. But the way they're pushing on everyone, um, I'm getting Mark of the Beast vibes. I'm not. I'm not even overly religious, but that's my position. Okay. Okay. Janelle, military is different. The anthrax was experimental. Can't live your life being scared. Well, honey, you ain't never lied about that shit. So I want to thank Monica for submitting the question. She submitted that through a group that we're in called Truth Be Told. Please look it up, join it. It's fun. If you see me out with a bunch of people doing stuff, that's where. Also, I'm gonna just take a minute, shout out my boy Jamel Brewster and the Crown Town Falcons. Uh, Jamel helps run an organization, football organization that is branching out to other venues like basketball and things like that. Um, they've had it going for a few years. It's based in Charlotte, so it is a really good program. Uh, Jamel, I thought I saw you log on. Please drop your link if you're interested. It's for smaller kids, of course. Um, I saw the other day that like one of their coaches was undefeated, so it's a winning program. If you're like me, where winning is everything, send your kids there. they'll get the training that they need and development they need. So shout out to Jamel Brewster and the Crown Town Falcons. Sharita just dropped her link for her business. So if you're looking for getting out, please see her or my good friend Pamela Gregory. They have great deals, great specials. I'm going to move on to the next question, which is from Samantha, which Samantha, I did tag you. I'm not sure if you're on or not, but financial standards versus gold digging. Is there a difference? If so, what are they? That's a great question. I'm going to repeat that again. Financial standards versus gold digging. Gold digging. Is there a difference? If so, what are they? Now, this is where I wish that I had a lot more men on the thread, because there are certain topics that are sore spots for women, and then there are certain topics that are sore spots for men, and I think that this is one of those. So, and let me just say this: all of the questions that I answer are only the opinion of Lance. I am not speaking on behalf of the men in the world, but only myself. So, I'm going to repeat the question one more time, and feel free to hop on and drop your take on it whenever. Financial standards versus gold digging. Is there a difference? If so, what are they? Now, personally, I don't see, and Samantha, you have to correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm reading this question wrong or if I'm answering it wrong. I don't see a problem with anyone having a financial standard. I do believe that if you have a financial standard, you may lose out on good people. So that, I mean, that might be a slight conflict. There's no, I mean, you know, I guess it depends on how much you enforce it. So if you're saying, I won't talk to a man that doesn't make X amount of dollars, okay, then that might be a financial standard, okay? With that financial standard, whatever your magic number is, then that obviously affords you a certain lifestyle. Now, the gold digging part. If you're a woman and you meet a man, or you only talk to a man for financial, well, we'll just say personal gain, because he doesn't have to give you money. But you speak to a man for personal gain, then I think that that's a nice blanket definition for gold digging. So 2 minutes ago, I would have said, you know what? There is a difference. But now I think about it, I don't really think that there is a difference. Because if you have, I mean, it's almost just a classier way for saying it, you know? Because what does the financial standard mean? Like, what is it for? And I guess this is obviously subjective, but what would you, why would you need someone, and I'm going to use a round number, that makes $200,000? Like, if you take care of your own shit, you know what I'm saying? What does it matter what he makes if you take care of your business? Even if you want to build, so let's say you want to build with someone, right? You build with someone and you say, well, hey, I want a house somewhere in Ballantyne. Well, I mean, I guess if you make $50,000, then you might need someone to cover the difference if that's what you make. But again, that sounds like gold digging. Let me slide over here and let me read some of this right here. Janelle, let's see. There is a difference. I don't want to be with someone that can't afford the lifestyle I have built for myself. I like to travel and enjoy fine dining. I have standards of living that I enjoy, but why would I date someone who can't match my lifestyle? That doesn't make me a gold digger. It makes me smart enough to know what I want. Okay. So I'm going to say to that, you just hit the nail on the head in my book. You can afford the lifestyle that you want. Is the person a compliment to you, or is the person absorbing something from you? Because there's a difference. Building, that's two components, versus absorbing. So this person is taking some of your slack and vice versa. I mean, if you're in it for the long haul, which one of the questions I saw was about like bank accounts and stuff like that, then does it really matter like dollar for dollar? Because your lifestyle it shouldn't necessarily change, or I wouldn't think that it would change, because this is a compliment. This is an addition. So using round numbers, you make 100,000, let's say, and I'm just gonna lowball it and say the guy makes 20,000. Well, then it's $20,000. As long as he's not gold digging your ass, then I don't see why you guys would not want to build together. Hold on. Ooh, boy, we get the juke and we talk about this shit right here. So, Shatoya, women seek financial stability in dating, are seeking stability and security from a man. Women who are gold diggers are seeking a come up. It's the intention that makes it the difference. Okay, that's I can dig that. But again, it's so blended. Let me see here. Yeah. There is a difference. I go out and make money working to afford the life I want, and he does nothing I don't want to meet him. Meet me halfway, and that's the financial standard. But Christy, everyone was not blessed the way that you were. So this is where does, and this is why men say the woman is out of my league, in my opinion, because they look at themselves and say, well, you know what? I'm a hardworking guy who goes to work every day, take care of my kids if I got any. I'm a nice guy and I'm ready to do whatever I can to make a happy household. And then I have, and then they meet someone and they say, I'm sorry, you don't meet my financial standard. So then that means that guy is not good enough for you. That's tough. That's tough because oftentimes we say online, I make my own money, just bring me happiness, loyalty, and all of these things. But when you have that shit, it doesn't matter because he doesn't financially meet the standard across the board. And I think that women, and I mean, of course, anyone could feel the way they want to feel, but I think it's very important that women are very forthcoming about that. And I mean, it's almost a conversation you have on the first night at the dinner table, because if you stretch this out, then you're literally wasting someone's time. But then you can't get mad at a man when he says, well, I'm playing the field because I had a dinner with you. You told me I wasn't financially stable. I'm essentially waiting on you to make a decision on me. So I'm dating someone who does, who doesn't, or maybe has a lower financial standard. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm not saying it's bad for anybody, but what I am saying is that, I mean, shit, that's a tough pill. That's a real touchy subject, I would think. But let me see what else we got here. Y'all tough. Fellas, better have that damn money right. Sorry. Just getting it together. Okay, 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 okay. So, and let me just give me a second. I'm gonna just scroll up here because I'm sure I missed somebody's shit. I want to address everybody. Janelle, I don't have a set number for income. I will wake up, book a flight for the weekend. If you don't have that ability, yes, I will not deal with you. I'd rather be by myself than limit myself. I think that's a that's a totally fair statement. Totally fair. All right. It's so much better to scroll through on my phone. All right, my man Shaq, you can still afford the lifestyle with a partner who makes less than you. Either way, it's a bonus to your plan. He or she may be the sweetheart of your dreams. Finances don't determine that. Well said, my brother. Um, well said. But I think that again, that's where I'm saying like you're building together because I mean I don't know. I mean I don't think that even on 20,000, if it's managed correctly, you can still do some of these things. But I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you should lose a life partner if the guy gives you all the stuff that these ladies that I see you guys post about loyalty, ambition. He can still be ambitious, still be loyal, still be all of the things that you require in a person, and then just fall short there. Then, in my point, that's where you hear the term "build them up." Help them to the goal. And I know a lot of women's counterpoint is well, we coach them up and it goes for somewhere else. Then just look at it as you bless someone, you made them better, and it just wasn't for you. Like everything is not going to be where you receive. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see here. I'm sorry. There's some lazy men out here, and they want to live that life, but don't want to work to get it. Well, obviously for those people, it's a hard no. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to deal with those people. But, you know, someone who's willing to work hard and they meet all of the criteria that you want as a man, and you're saying because and Janelle, I'm gonna just use your example, because they may not be able to hop on a plane when you're ready to hop on a plane, I think it's very tough. And I say that because in full transparency, there was a time in my life where I couldn't do that. And I don't think that made me any less of a man. I don't think it made me um, any less courtable or dateable or anything like that. It was just simply that, you know, due to some choices in my life, I had kids early. I had home to take care of. Just sometimes having disposable money doesn't necessarily translate into success or anything like that. So I think that sometimes, ladies, that's a tough angle because sometimes it takes time, due to life or other decisions that you made. Um, let's see here. Men date women with lower financial status, but successful women won't even look at a man that's struggling when they're financially stable. But guess what? Women have sex with who they want, but men marry who they want. So I see this statement a lot, and there's a lot of truth to that. Um, and there's a lot of double standards, and a lot of this has to do with like oftentimes we talk about like what our parents did, what our grandparents did. It's a different life. You know what I'm saying? Just like we need to rewrite the Constitution, there are things that we need to rewrite as it relates to dating. Um, because that shit don't work right now. The philosophy doesn't work right now. Everything else has changed with the times. Everything except for this. Very touchy subject, yes. Especially women of I don't know how old you are, Miss Austin. Um, some older men really don't have their lives together. That's true. That's true. Uh, Christy, I didn't say lower. I said I didn't say lower. I said has nothing to do with to bring to the table, but want you to have. I can borrow, or I need you to give me give me as man that will not make the cut. All right, so I'm gonna paraphrase it. Um, you didn't say lower, but you want the man to bring something to the table um, to be productive. And again, I get that. So again, I understand that there are a lot of men that say, well, hey, I may want a woman that's a fucking nuclear physicist, but I pick up trash for an apartment complex. No disrespect to anybody who picks up trash in an apartment complex. I'm just saying that historically, that's a type of it's almost like an unreal expectation almost. But if the nuclear physicist loves that person, then fucking go get your happiness. Um, Dealing with a man who makes a lot less money is draining. Honestly, it's like I'm going to live a certain lifestyle with or without you. But if I live my lifestyle with you, but if I have my lifestyle with you and you can't help, then you're adding a mouth to the table that you didn't put any food on. So I think that the consensus is that essentially there's two separate philosophies, um, and I think that there are women who say um, you are burdened, and then there and I'm going to say people because I mean this goes both ways. I would imagine there are people who say that essentially you're a burden, so you got to at least be able to take care of your own or take care of yourself, which I 100% agree with. And then there's a line of people on the other side that says, you know what? If I fucking love you, I got it. It's yours. We'll do it together. Um, those people are more of an anomaly because we often only hear about the failed relationships. We don't often hear about how the guy working at Walmart decided to talk to someone that may have been perceived out of his league and they end up being happy together, which I mean I guess that's just the type of world that we live in. My Shaq, my wife makes 20,000 less than me, and anyone that follows my page knows there's no limits with us. We do it all. You can compliment my lifestyle, not match it. I like that. I have no follow up for that. I think that's it. That's the T. That's the key right there. Compliment. Um, I'm just scrolling through. Well said. We can do this together. Fucking right, we can. You gotta want to do it though. Gotta want to do it. So the person actually asked this question, Samantha, are you online? Because I'd like your take on it. I thought I saw you pop up. I did tag you, but I would like your take on that as well. Samantha's next question. Wait, let me just make sure that we good with this because this was really good. I mean, that was really good point of views. Oh, 52 and exactly. We should do it together. Well, if we should do it together, then again, we have to try to erase the stigma of he's out of my league because those guys who believe that they're out of their league or out of your league, this is why. And I'm going to just say for those guys, I've never personally felt like I was out of anyone's league. I would never say that. But again, I do know that there was a time where I could just hop a flight when I wanted to. But, I still feel like I was a good catch. But just need to hit it there. Pound anomaly. Thank you, Kelly, if that is directed toward me. Samantha's second question, which is also Very good. Should you teach someone your love language, or is it something that should come naturally? I'm going to repeat that. Should you teach someone your love language, or is it something that comes naturally? Oh, wait. One more thing. So every now and again, I'm gonna drop an advertisement. So again, Brandon Jones, Ricky Trainer Fletch, training needs. Jamel Brewster, Crown Town Falcons, for your young sir or young ma'am playing football. My boy DC, Get Work Done, auto detailing. Johnny Anderson does detailing. Tony Bug Brown does detailing. Shika Bloomfield for your wine needs. Sharita Redmond for your travel. Pamela Gregory for your travel. Case Crew for t-shirts. Okay, yeah. All right, so now we'll move to the question. Should you teach someone your love language, or is it something that should come naturally? So I want to say that, first of all, I think that the love languages are full of shit, first of all. I think they're very overrated. And I think that you often hear this come up like at a dinner table or and people now swear by it. It's almost like the I don't know, how many guys, how many people, went to school or whatever, but I'm sure at some point you might have taken a Briggs and Stratton test, and that's supposed to like determine what kind of personality you have. And we take these tests, and then we're so hung up on what the results are. These love languages, and I should have pulled them up, don't necessarily, they're not a one size fit all. Now that's just my take on the love language. That obviously does not address the question, but Christy Blakely, absolutely, you should know how you want to feel. Shakura, you should be willing to open up communication about it. I'm not sure if teaching is necessary, but a discussion about it, about what you like, definitely is. So Shaq says, teach it. Everyone's love language is different, though it may be listed as the same. Adrian, tell them your love language. Have the conversation. Okay. Ms. Hamilton, unless you believe in and are dating a so-called psychic or mind reader, I'm going to say yes. Open communicate your emotional needs. All right. So I don't have it in front of me. Actually, no, I got a computer here. Let's see. Love languages. I want them in front of me. All right. Bam. All right. So the love languages. Oh, let me see what my boy Lick has to say first. It has to be taught. How else does your significant other know how to please you? Some things are natural, but everyone is different. All right. So you have words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. Okay. So let me reread the question so that I can get my answer together here. Should you teach someone these things? I would say absolutely. And maybe teach is not necessarily the right word for me, but I do think that you should educate them and get them up to speed in what you want and what you need. As it relates, so some people, some things come natural, and I think that if your love language is probably the same, then that on paper feels natural to you. I struggle with this. I struggle with this. I'm just so I don't receive gifts very well. Um, Physical touch is not a necessity for me. Words of affirmation, I don't really need to be gassed up. Um, Quality time is good, but I love being alone. Um, the acts of service kind of walks hand in hand with the receiving, so it's kind of tough for me personally. I don't think I necessarily need anyone to teach me any of these things. I did take the test and it was a clusterfuck because I felt like it was very restrictive when when I took it. Um, so that's part of the reason why I think the test is full of shit. But and historically, women like swear by these fucking tests or this test specifically. Um, I don't know if teach is the right word, but I'll tell you what is the right word: patience. Okay, so for someone, maybe based on their environment, this doesn't come easy. So you have to be patient with someone if these things don't come secondhand to them, or I'm sorry, firsthand to them. And I think that this is where people lose each other because they're not patient enough. You know, when we meet people, we got to talk about where they came from and what makes them who they are today. Because some of these things, if you come from a hard place, whether you didn't receive these from a parent or if you were in the streets, like, you don't know what this shit is. So you got to be patient with people who doesn't have this naturally. You know, sometimes you got to be patient and let the ice melt some. So let me read here a little bit. I've been yammering on a little bit. In your relationship, take the test. What are y'all thoughts about this? Oh, in the relationship, take the test. Talk about okay. Talk about the results. Again, yes, I have. Shaq, mine's is touch. Break that down. Break that down as to what it means to you. Right. So I mean, that's good. That's healthy. You say, well, hey, in this relationship, I'm not receiving what I need based on my love language, which is touch. How do we get to getting satisfied? Kelly, I'm gonna just move past that. May have something to do with who the creator is. Dr. Gary Chapman, from his perspective of life, the test may not actually relate well to loved of minorities. Okay, that's good information, Shakura. That's really good. That's really good fucking information. We often talk about, and I've said, well, hey, we need to maybe reevaluate how, our dating perspective. And I also said how we maybe need to rewrite the Constitution. I think that the love languages is something that we should also rewrite. I mean, I think that someone should do another one. Maybe I should do one. I'm gonna look into that. See if my shit can be all over the place. I don't know what Dr. Chapman, I don't know where he got the information from, but today I don't think Dr. Chapman knows any more about the shit than I do. So can't be any wrong in that. Sharita, if you're still on, I'm gonna do your question while you're still on, which is, how do we push past our comfort zone? Pretty straightforward. How do you push past your comfort zone? You don't live in fear. You got to be okay to fail. You got to be okay with failure. You got to do it. You will never know if you can do 30 push-ups if you never try to do 30 push-ups. Whoa, we got some more. Okay, let's back up here. I went to his lecture, and when he came to our college, I think it's more your upbringing than, you've had experienced, not necessarily minorities. That's a good point, Adrian. And when you say upbringing, I'm just going to say like your household environment, and I mean, because a lot of these things we get from our parents, you know, as parents, we feed into our children or pour into our children. We give them, let me go back to them. We give them words of affirmation. We give them physical touch. We give them gifts. We spend quality time and we provide them acts of service. This is something that we do with our children. And if you were blessed to be in a two-parent home, these are things that you saw, with your mother and father. So that's a good point. DC, what's up, man? I gave you a shout out. DC, if you have a link or an Instagram, which I know you do, drop your link about the detail work that you do. For everyone that I mentioned, DC Get Work Done, that's DC Cunningham. He just hopped on. Please get at him if you need any detailing. He does big trucks, little cars, all that shit. And speaking of that, I have a friend, BB Herndon, who does houses, trucks, and stuff as well. So give them either one of those a shout. Agreed. Some raised on survival have a totally different emotional spectrum than someone raised in love. Ms. Hamilton, that is it. That's it. Again, I had someone that swore by this fucking love language. And again, some of these things, they're not even necessary for me at this point. It just, that's why when you're saying, well, what should we talk about at the dinner table? Talk about where you came from. Talk about your life, whether it was hard, whether, if you didn't have a mom, you didn't have a dad. Oh, Lick, my bad, bro. My bad. That's all you gotta do is say something. Let me scroll up. Okay. Bam. Okay. It's all right. Hold me accountable, bro. It's all good. I think you have to be in tune with the person you're dealing with. You have to be patient, but you have to correct them as well. For example, I'm not a PDA person. And one day my girl was grabbing my hand, kissing all on me in the store. Now, I made her upset, but we never had that problem again. And guess what? Now I grab her hand in public because I know that she likes it, even though it's out of my comfort zone. So sacrifice is the key. Man, Lick, that shit's so good. I'm going to read this shit again. You have to be in tune with the person you're dealing with. You have to be patient, but you have to correct them as well. For example, I'm not a PDA person, and one day my girl grabbed my hand and kissed along on me in the store. Now I made her upset, but we never had the problem again. And guess what? Now I grab her hand in public because I know she likes it, even though it's out of my comfort zone. So sacrifice is the key. Boom. Growing up on the foe, you may not have had all of that shit. You got to coach them up. This is where we talk about if there's something that the man is doing or your mate, if it's something they're missing, don't fucking dismiss them. Tell them. Coach them up. Like, bring them up to speed. So in this case, something took place. He made a mistake. She told him about it. Now it's not a problem anymore. So, Lick, man, that's a great post, man. I think that's a great example of what we need to do a little bit more of. All right. My bad. So now, Sharita, if you're still there, and how do you push past your comfort zone? So I think that my boy Lick really summed that up really well. He wasn't combative. He received the feedback. Then he made an adjustment. So again, you can't be afraid to fail. You got to understand that sometimes being outside your comfort zone may hurt. It's going to hurt. Be able to receive feedback. Let me see what Kelly has to say. Sacrifice could potentially lead to resentment. I prefer agreed upon mutual compromise. Hmm. That's deep right there. Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. I can see in an argument how maybe somebody might throw in the other person's face the sacrifices that they've made. I've 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 seen that. I've experienced that. Um, all you can do, I think that in those cases, all you can do is hope for the best and hope that that person is not that type of person who throws those things in your face. Sometimes I can tell you though, sometimes it's not like that. You know, you have to be a certain place in your life where you sacrifice, and then you're not necessarily sacrificing to be able to throw it back in someone's face. So, I mean, that's a tough call for sure. Um, coming down to the mutual compromise, that's probably the easiest way to take care of it. Sitting somebody at the table, and again, that's where the feedback has to take place. So you can say, well, you know what, this is what I need you to do. No offense that you're not doing it right now, but this is what I need. And then that's where you say, okay, well, we can meet halfway, and then hopefully have a successful whatever. Um, so I think a culmination of all of these statements and answers covers how do you push past your comfort zone. And again, I know that you probably weren't speaking about directly relationship based, but I mean, obviously it translates into, fear of flying, fear of, exercise, diet, whatever it is. I mean, it's going to be difficult. So, having a clear mind and understanding what your goal and objective is, I would say, is how you push past your comfort zone. Lily, which I think I might have saw you on here as well. Why so many divorces? That's easy. We live in a world where we don't want to fight for shit. We live in a world where instead of dealing with adversity, we're quick to just walk away. We live in the I'm not gonna deal with this shit world. Um, and I will say that I don't agree with all of some of the older school philosophies. Um, but I do admire how oftentimes maybe our parents and grandparents um, stay together. Um, on the flip side of that, and I'm going to be very transparent in myself, my parents um, were together for 30 years. Um, and in my opinion, they shouldn't have been. It was very toxic. Um, and as a child, I wanted to see them together. I didn't want to live in a house, where my parents were split. But as I began to get older and just see how toxic it was, you don't stay together for kids. You don't stay together just because you're married. And my parents weren't rich. It wasn't like, they were, staying together out of fear of like money or anything like that. Um, and so most most of the old school relationships, they fought for love, and fighting for love is not necessarily bailing on the first argument and say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to deal with this shit." But I think that that's where we are. Um, there's so much accessibility that you feel like you can replace or do something better so quickly. You literally could be married, hop on Facebook, and find something that you may perceive as a better option, or it leads you to believe, it gives you like a false sense of security. Like I can walk away from this because I have that. Um, you can hop on Instagram, you like enough person's pics, they might be in your inbox. It's just we have so much accessibility to the other sex that it almost makes our current partner expendable. Um, which is a philosophy that I don't necessarily agree with. Let me see. People have a microwave mentality. They want everything quick and easy. Right, right. Even our children, if you look at our children versus like how we were raised, mentally they're just not as strong. Um, as a whole, I mean, I don't want to split hairs here, but as a whole, Latasha, let's see. People are marrying for the wrong reason to begin with. They don't understand what it means to be in a relationship, let alone a marriage. How do we fix that? How do we as people fix that? Where are we going wrong at? Are we are we rushing into the relationship too fast? Are we not asking the right questions? Um, like how do we fix that? And I think that's, I mean, I guess once we can answer that question, everything looks and feels different. Um, Latoya, but it's not real access that you have. Right, it's a false sense of security. And that's the problem. You know, you have your wife, you know, you fall out, you're like, man, this shit is over. I'm not dealing with this shit. And then you entertain some bullshit that's dead end when you just lost a whole wife just because you thought you had it going on social media or whatever the case may be. Shit's stupid. Um, the divorce rate the divorce rate only recently has increased to the rate it is now. I don't think people really take the time to get to know one another nowadays. Once married, they start to discover who someone really is, and by then it's too late. You got to backtrack. Yeah, we'll just sip of this drink right here. Lick. Let's see what you got here, brother. Social media and TV has a great influence on the new way of thinking we have. Everyone is looking for the perfect life. I remember the American dream used to be finding a partner, getting married, have a couple kids, a house with a dog and a picket fence. But social media has brainwashed us to the point we think we're supposed to live and act 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 like what they see. That's the problem. Oh, okay, what you see on television. Got it. Okay, I'm with you now. Sorry about that. Um, Latasha, letting our guard down. Stop having the hurt you before you hurt me mentality. Letting the guard down. That's critical. We hold so much information personal, and we have to be more transparent. And let me just say this: that I give very good advice. I don't necessarily follow it all, but because I'm very guarded. Um, but I'm working on trying to be more transparent for people. I just want people. I think people should be transparent as well about the things that hurt them, about the things that bother them, because that allows people to make the decision and say, well, you know what, this is something I can or cannot handle. But you keep it all built in, and then you're married, and you find out that your significant other is a fucking basket case. Um, People are definitely not asking the hard questions before they're deciding to be mutually exclusive. Taking the time to actually date. Most are seeking sexual pleasures versus taking the time to get to know someone. Yeah, I got you, Lick. What we see. Looking at posts, people say, "Oh, after 2 or 3 years, I need a ring, yada yada yada." But people put crazy time frames on relationships. You must take the time to cultivate sustainability. Agreed, agreed. And you see those memes. all the time where it's like, you know who you're going to marry in a year. You know who you're going to marry in 2 years. You don't know shit until you ask the right questions. It could be 7 fucking years. If you're not asking the right questions, then you're not going to get the right answers. So on a surface level, you may say, okay, your favorite color is green. My favorite color is green. Let's move forward in a relationship. No, that doesn't mean that you're compatible. So I agree. The tough questions have to be asked, and we're not asking them, or we're asking them and the person's so guarded, they're misrepresenting what they are. Fix it by being open-minded, willing to share your true self from day one. Stop being a representative to the first date. Be you. Wise words, my friend. It might take you 8 years or forever. If you're fucking happy, stop worrying about what everybody else say on social media. That is also important. You cannot run your relationship based on how many memes someone posts about what they perceive a relationship should be. If the shit works for you, then just be happy and enjoy your shit. Marrying has always been a contractual. Wow, I can't say the word. Contractual. Contractual. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta sign this shit out. Contractual agreement. The romancing is actually fairly new. A lot of cultures actually still pick their kids' mate, and families match their wealth building sake. Women were totally dependent upon men. Too fucking funny. Sometimes you literally gotta laugh at yourself. Looking at the post saying, "Oh, after 2 or 3 years, I need." Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's not so much time that's a factor. If you know what to ask and how to ask it. Agreed. People jump out of relationships and never take the time to grow and find themselves. They end up in crazy relationships due to not wanting to be lonely. Also, not paying attention to the red flags. I think that, so we talk about standards, right? And then there are some times where we meet someone and we say, well, you know what? Although this was a standard of mine, I'm going to change it. And that's really code for that's a red flag that I'm going to accept. And oftentimes we accept these red flags because we think we can change a person or make them something that they're not. And then we get mad at them further on down the line. Motherfucker, you knew I was toxic in this regard from the day I met you. Don't do it. Don't do it. If it's a red flag now, it's going to be a red flag unless you have that conversation and say, hey, are you doing anything to fix this? Now, if they're doing something to fix it, then you can say, well, you know what? You working on it. I can move past it. I can put it on pause, not maybe move past it. Love the word attack skills you just used. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, actually. I'll take that as a compliment. People are afraid to be alone, so they overlook the red flags to say they have someone. So then we're settling, which we'll save that for a whole nother live, settling. My Grammy always told me the next generation is and will always be wiser, but weaker. We give up too quick. Folks are broken internally and they don't know themselves and haven't taken the time to. Oh shit! Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Haven't taken the time to work on themselves. So you got two broken people trying to be one. People need to spend more time working on themselves so they bring the best them into a marriage and they can actually be a good partner that's indispensable. So many people fall in love with a vibe. you need more than good chemistry to keep a marriage going. Mm. Mm. Heavy hitting shit right there. Heavy hitting. So one thing I used to do was like the post of the day, right? So I would normally do the post of the day. So whatever the post of the day was, I'd do something for that person. Like I might, cash out him or something, or like when I see him at a Truth Be Told event, like I'd buy him a drink or something. That's a good post, Shatoya. Now because it just hit me because it was so good, because my boy Lick got a good post too. Maybe I'll say that for next week, but that's a really good post or reply. People don't see the red flags because they have colored glasses on. This is why it's important to have a network of people that objectively help you see, but you have to be open to hear them from the beginning. So Shakur, I don't know, because who are these people? Are these the friends that don't want to see you happy? Are they the people that have multiple divorces? Who are they? I mean, are they childhood friends? Oftentimes I think that sometimes our friends or our family can distort our good thinking. I've dated a few people that my mom might have crashed with. She's never said that she didn't like them, but her opinion might have carried too much weight. You know what I'm saying? Because fuck, my mom ain't marrying him. So, oftentimes you have that conversation, like even at a table, what do you do if your mother doesn't like the person? Well, who gives a shit? I'm spending my life with the person, not my mama. But so I'd like to see your answer, because I'm curious about who the people are. Overlooking red flags, also known as marrying dating potential, instead of actual person before you. I missed the comment. Okay. So did I miss the comment after I read it? Because I'm scrolling through. I see some replies. Yeah, no. I'm not sure where I missed it at, but I mean, I know there may be a lag, so I may have read it after. You know what I'm saying? My apologies, though. Yes, sis. Character over chemistry. So Shatoya did bring up a good point. The vibe. The vibe is good. The vibe is intoxicating. It is a drug. And the vibe is sometimes that can be toxic. So I know people from all walks of life, and I can truly say that I have friends on both sides of the tracks. And I have friends that the vibe was just getting high, smoking. That's all they did. All they did was fucking smoke together. Smoke together and fuck is all they did. And I really liked this person, right? But I didn't necessarily do all that. And I remember them saying that essentially the other person, because the vibe was so good, that's why they were interested in them, versus me. And that's literally all it did. Now, this is not in a judgmental way, but essentially, that's what their happiness was. And it's crazy because later the dude was living in a house with another woman the whole time. And the person literally just hit me like, on the I guess how women say on the hey big head shit. Like literally, and I asked, and I mean they were very transparent or whatever. But there's part of me that said, well, motherfucker, this is what I was telling you. See, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, the vibe. So that's sometimes the vibe is fool's gold. But let's see here. Okay, all right, I want to make sure I'm starting. That's the issue. You have people that will genuinely tell you the red flags, yet you ignore them, and over time you come back crying, right? Because you know it's not their fault you opted to bypass something they were honest with you about from the beginning. Um, let's see, Lick. Character. One thing I've learned: character of a person cannot be changed. Circumstances can, and I think that most women try to change a man's character more than the circumstance, which causes the problem. I want to hear the I want to hear if anyone says anything about that. Oh, you like that, Miss Hamilton, huh? They already talking about it right there. So Latasha's rebuttal to your statement, Lick. Yes, some women try to change men, some for the wrong reasons. Yet in some cases, change can be good. Let's talk. I mean, oh shit. Change. And I would love, and I'm sure there's probably some data somewhere where we talk about um, how we have changed a man, right? Now we often see the failed part, like I mentioned earlier, but I do think that there are some men that say, well, you know what? And I see, is there good men out there? Absolutely, it's good men. And I think that there are some people that recognize a blessing and say, well, you know what? This woman coached me up, is a term I use, made me a better person. I understand that oftentimes it's quite the opposite, though, where um, where um, it's failed or negative. Oh my God, this is so good. Oh my gosh, let me say something. So I love Starbucks cake pops, right? I love them. So I was at a bakery today, and I got these, and I said the first thing I said, are these like Starbucks cake pops? They were like, yes. I said, which one's better? She said these. I said, man, you bullshit. And this is red velvet. It is so good. It is so good. I'm telling you, it's the little things that make me happy. This is so good. Um, let's see here. Not at all. These people that bring, I'm sorry, let me hit the more button first. Not at all. These people that you bring into your life that you have to trust. Wait, not at all. These people that you bring into your life that you trust have successful marriages based on the relationship they have cultivated with you, and they know what's best in your interest. They objectively step in to observe. It's like other cultures where the father of the family has to approve. Okay, I understand. Okay, so good role models. Oh my God. Mm. Whatever the sweetness does for your brains, the endorphins or whatever, my shit's doing backflips. I'm so happy. This is so good. Mm. That is really good. Okay. Um, got to be equally yoked. Oh shit! As soon as I got to be equally yoked. Can't date a drug dealer and you work in corporate and expect to be in a successful relationship. Just not gonna end well. So, Lick, let me just say this. Um, I think that can work. I really do believe that can work. Um, you can work in the streets. In my mind, let me take my hands off. I don't want the camera shaking. You can work in the street and still come home and love your significant other, treat her with respect, and do everything that you need to do. But that's a special combination. And I'm gonna just say this. So we talk about the toxic part, right? So my dad, you know, um, got his money however he did. You know, it wasn't all. He didn't always get a paper check cut. I'll just say that. And he put my mom through nursing school. Um, Now again, they were together 30 years. Although a lot of it was toxic, I do believe that they loved each other. It's just there's a point where they probably should have just said, you know what, I love you enough to let you be on your way because I'm not gonna argue every day. But again, 30 years, I can't bypass the fact that it was still 30 years, whether it was 30 years of bullshit. I mean, obviously you have to love somebody to some degree. So I do think, for lack of better words, you could trap and have a corporate wife. What you would want in theory is that what my mom did was able to take some of that money and invest it in property and things of that nature. So I think that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's what you would want from your woman. That's what you would hope that she would do. So, let me see here. Man, really good dialogue going today. And I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Like I said, it's been so long since I've done it. Feels good to just, read and joke around with y'all. Yes, some women can change some men for the. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, we read that already. Lick, I was literally about to say something similar, yet it can't happen. Elevation. Why continue to be a certain situation and your partner? Wait, why you continue to be a certain situation and your partner's going up, yet you're just there? No way. You sell drugs. Okay, how can we make this a lucrative business and change the mentality and not settle? Agreed. Agreed. Yes, Shakura, it most certainly was. A woman cannot change a man. A man wants to have to change himself. However, a woman can encourage, support him, and once he puts action and motivation to makes the changes he deems necessary. One more thing about the drug dealer. He's a hustler. If he's open to it, he could be a legit businessman and very successful. It comes with a lot. The woman has to be strong because it takes a lot of trust to deal with people in the streets. Just like a dated stripper was cool, but it's cool at first, but it brings toxicity in your life. I don't know why I'm stumbling today, boy. That's like a guy living from couch to couch, selling little bags here and there. Meets a woman working on her grind that at some point becomes a burden on her, taking care of another person who doesn't want more. That's where the problems come from. So I think that's kind of what Shatoya was mentioning about like having the man bring something to the table. So I mean that makes a lot of sense, and I agree with that. The entrepreneurial fortitude it takes to be successful. The entrepreneurial fortitude it takes to be a successful street dude could definitely work well with someone from corporate America. Agreed. They have to be strong. They have to be a strong-minded drug dealer because the streets comes with street problems. What are you drinking? Tearing these words up. Man? So in my drink today, and I showed off my cup earlier. Nobody listens to Lance. I know the light might be fucking it up, but nobody listens to Lance. Nobody listens to Lance. In this, I have grape Ciroc, apple Ciroc, white strawberry cranberry juice, and Malibu. And it is delicious. Yes, thank you. So, Shakur, I actually have one of your questions here as well. So since you're on here and you're hyperactive, and you just blasted me, thank you very much. Now we can't excuse the women who don't bring much to the table. We'll save that for another live as well. How do black men really feel about black women dating, marrying outside of their race? Does it matter? We often hear the woman's perspective all the time. Christy, I drank it all. I have one pouch is still in the freezer. The whatever the light one is, I still have it in the freezer, but I couldn't freeze it or unfreeze it fast enough. Um, so yes. I'll repeat the question. How do black men really feel about black women dating, marrying outside of their race? Does it matter? Because we often hear the woman's perspective all the time. So essentially, guys, do we have a problem with black women dating outside of their race? And obviously, this is a firestorm of a topic, depending on what group you're in, because we have our sisters who are very adamant about maybe us making money and then going to women outside of our race, and then we have and I think that that's the biggest hang up, because I don't ever hear it being a problem when someone's broke and they're dating someone outside of their race. It's always someone that's associated with living a good lifestyle. And they say, well, essentially, well, hey, you're living such a good lifestyle, why are you abandoning your sister or whatever? So I don't give a fuck. I mean, you date who makes you happy. You date, what makes you happy, and I don't really think it doesn't matter to me. I should have posted this in the group, because I know the way that group is set up. Truth be told, everyone that's watching, please go join. The way that Truth Be Told is set up, that this would probably get ugly. I probably you know what? That's probably why I didn't, because I'd have to end up deleting it. But me personally, I don't care, and I don't think anyone should care about who anybody dates, for that matter. But again, I only see it being a problem when someone's rich or when someone's living a good lifestyle. So y'all feel free to jump on that. There's not a lot of guys on the live, so I mean, Lick, Shaq, if you're still on, Steve, I think I saw you on. Please tell me what your take is on this. Which again, I'll read it one more time. How do black men really feel about a black woman dating outside of their race? Does it matter? Because we often always hear the woman's perspective, which is in most cases, the black man ain't shit because he's dating outside of his race. Not that we're just happy for two people to be in love or be in lust. I mean, again, it doesn't really matter to me. But chime in. Jamel, I don't know if you just heard the question, but I'd like your answer. Probably because black women are expected to struggle with the man or accept struggle love. Are they? So let's just say, and I'm guessing here. If I was a betting person, I would say that somewhere the data would say that more times than not, it is a woman who has their shit together that is helping a man come up. So I understand your situation or your statement. I do believe that women mature faster than men. And I believe that women are forced to mature faster than men, whether they have children. There's something that typically jumpstarts their maturation faster than a guy, whether it be taking care of an older parent that typically falls, on the sister of the family, or typically the oldest child. Women are more nurturing, so they gravitate to to responsibility a little bit more faster. So I get that it's often said that black women um, are to accept the struggle love, but the term gold digging came, well, this is not an official statement. I don't really know, but it was always about a woman taking advantage of a man. So I think that um, there's a lot of times where men put up with shit that they don't really have to as well. I think that the big difference is that this is when we see those high profile divorces because the women like, fuck this shit. Let me just get my money and dip. But there's plenty of cases where a man has brought a woman for nothing. And then we often hear things, oh well, she was this or she was that. No, 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 no. You can't tell me that, for example, Juanita Jordan is worth $82 million because she had 2 kids. Like, no, she came from nothing. Jordan fucking found her, brought her up. She came up. So, I mean, I do understand, but I mean, again, to the question, I don't personally care. But Ms. Hamilton, I do certainly understand what your statement means. I'll wait on my guys to give me anything on this. While they're doing that, I'm going to just move to the next question, which is, and this will be our question for the night. I didn't realize how late it was. It's 11:15. This is from Denise Townsend. Let me see, Adrian, what we got. In my opinion, women get hammered by people when they date outside of their race, and it doesn't have to be with a person of financial wealth. The looks and comments can be brutal. Hammered. So let's run. So let's talk about this. So, do you believe that a black woman dating a white man catches more hell than a black man dating a white woman? Because in my opinion, because you see the latter so much more often, I think that they catch the most hell. Man, that's my take. I mean, I don't know, but look, it doesn't matter. I feel no way about black men dating white or black women dating white men, but sometimes as niggas we ain't shit. But we gotta. But what I do hate to see is, I don't know why I don't hit more before I start reading it. So I'm gonna just read it all over again. It doesn't matter. I don't feel any way about black women dating white men, but sometimes as niggas we ain't shit. But what I do hate to see is all the stars athletes choosing white women over black women. For one, most of the time they don't even look right. Most of those white women will walk right past their black ass if they were a regular person, and that's why they keep getting divorced and getting their money taken. Okay? I think that sums it up. I agree with that, bro. I agree with that. Yeah, I don't even have a rebuttal. Last question of the night. Denise says, when dating multiple people, what is a nice way to let them know you decided on one of them? When dating multiple people, what is a nice way to let them know you decided on one of them? How do you know that you have not made the cut? Or how do you let someone know that they didn't make the cut? You chose one. This is a great question, which in my opinion, spills into the term ghosting. Ghosting. So, my answer to this is, if you're honest with people and you tell them, hey, I'm dating multiple people. I'm doing me. I'm single until made exclusive. if you tell people this and you allow them to decide if they want to play the game with you or not play the game with you, then it shouldn't be a problem with saying, well, hey, I know I told you I was dating. I've decided to move forward with one person. You know, if you still want to be friends, we can be friends, or if not, we can not talk or whatever, but this is a decision I made. I hope that you can respect it. That's real easy. That's real easy. I think the problem comes in is that we're not very honest at the beginning, and then you meet the person you decided to move forward with, and instead of telling the other potential candidates, you just ghost them. And then again, this also feeds into that piss poor culture. And then you see memes and shit like that, when these are things that we can change ourselves. Like, we can be better people to people. We can be honest. Hey, I'm dating someone. I made it official with someone. Don't fucking ghost them. Don't fucking ignore their text. Don't just tell them. Just tell them. I think that that's really the easiest way, you know. But you know, that's my take on it. Let's see what we got here. Depending on how developed the relationship is, you are upfront and clear about your choice. Appreciate that, Mel. It just doesn't cost you anything to be honest. You know, if you start lying, then you gotta like lie, or if you're misrepresenting yourself. I mean, because I'm gonna tell you, if somebody really feeling you, they're gonna play the game. They're gonna say people are blinded by their own arrogance. Some people will say, well, you know what? That's cool. You dating? I'm gonna be the one, so I'm gonna play the game. Because everybody thinks that they can make it happen, that they can be that one person to flip it. Because again, somebody's gonna win, so it's literally a game. Just tell them up front. Just tell them up front, because they'll play the game with you anyway. Especially if you're an attractive person. You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but in all honesty, if you're attractive, you have a little bit more leeway with honestly playing the game, so to speak, because people still want to fuck with you because you're hot. No disrespect to anyone that is not hot. Let's see here. People want to keep their options open even when they decide to date one person. So they ghost because 9 out of 10, they're going to reach out. So that's ghosting with a purpose. I've never heard of that, but it makes sense. Ghosting with a purpose. Ms. Hamilton, be straightforward. I absolutely hate ghosting unless you're dealing with a cray-cray stalker. It's hard to be honest once you lie. Yes. It's not a nice way, but you just have to be upfront and honest. Hopefully you've already told them that you're going on multiple dates with multiple people. Let me hit the more right now. There's no nice way. Somebody's feelings going to be hurt. I agree, Lance. It has to be discussed at the beginning because I need the option of choosing if I want to deal with it. At the end of the day, who's going to waste their time like that? So here's the thing. Do we not assume that everyone is dating? Do you live in a 2021 where you believe that you are truly the only person that someone is talking to? With fucking Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook? Nah. You sound like you on some house phone shit. If you believe that. No. So, advice? Don't believe you're the only person. That might save you some grief in the long run. So, Mel says, is it right to date multiple people? Shakur says, why would it be wrong? Those are the first questions on the date. So, Shakura and Mel, I understand both sides of this, right? I understand the philosophy of dating one person and establishing if they're the right person for you. If they're not, then you discontinue that course and start another course, because ultimately you're looking to find the person who offers you the long-term relationship. And it is difficult to juggle multiple people. And you ask yourself, are you really getting all of that person if they're dealing with 5 or 6 people? Then Shakura, I understand the I'm single until I'm exclusive relationship. That's tough, man. That's tough. I think that's probably a philosophy that has come about in our current times. You know, we're so worried about time. Everything is time, 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 time. I ain't got time, or you know, you're busy at work, so you're not making time. So I'm gonna deal with this over here to occupy my time. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna tell everybody just do what works for you, but I think I think it's fucked up if you meet somebody and you set the expectation that, hey, I'm interested in you, you interested in me. We're gonna move on a course. So I enjoyed that date on Monday, but you know what? I'm gonna do the exact same thing with somebody else on Wednesday, and then I'm gonna see you on Thursday, and I'm gonna do the same thing with somebody else on Friday and Saturday. I have to question if you're really gonna find what you're looking for, because you're not really focused on your vision is blurred. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like some data to see, like, what the success rate is on that, but I don't know, man. That's tough. Let's see what we got here. Yes, I think all single people and a lot of married ones are entertaining multiple people. Melly Mel said, "Hey, things have changed." 25-year-old male, yeah. I've dated multiples before. It actually poses as a distraction, and you can really miss out on someone great. That's kind of what I was. That's what I was going with. Be honest though. How much effort and energy are you going to put into one person that tells you day one that they're dating multiple people? Lick, you're right. So it almost becomes counterproductive. So hey, the person's honest. Hey, I like you, but I'm dating multiple people. Well, you like, fuck, I'm not about to share you. So then you semi play the game, but then you start playing the game. And then and you multiply that. You know what I'm saying? And then it like splits and splits and splits. And like everybody is dating everybody, and nobody's making the true connection because nobody's focusing. So that's a great point, bro. Shit, this is stressful, dating multiple people. The real question, have we gotten away from actually dating someone? Yes, we have, because we don't know what that means. And we got to talk to the OGs to put us on, or we got to read some books with some credible sources, and not watch some bullshit that we see on TV, or not watch some bullshit lives online where, someone's trying to make a profit by telling, people stuff that may not necessarily be accurate in a day-to-day environment. You can't focus on someone. You can't focus and someone gets overlooked because you can focus on one person who in return is focusing on someone else. Right. I honestly think so. Dating is a process of elimination to find a personality or personalities that meshes well with yours. Some people can easily balance more than one thing. Some people cannot. Damn it, let me hit the more. Oh, okay. 5 or 6, sheesh. 3 or 4 at the most. If you're treating dating just as gathering information and learn who a person is, most men don't ask who else there is. It's strategic, and your conversation has purpose. So I don't really think that there's a difference between 5 and 6 and 3 and 4. I think anything above 2, it all falls in the same category. If you're gathering data, then can you not just gather data at one specimen at a time? I don't know. I mean, I just think that it sets yourself up for you have to, so if you care for these people or if you like these people, you got to understand it's 3 people, it's one of you. If all 3 of them feeling you, 2 of them gonna be salty. Why have someone salty when you could just, I guess for lack of better words, pace yourself? Jamel, I agree. It's an excuse to have a staple. But then we get mad when people cheat and stuff like that. I don't know. But it's in satisfaction. We want what brings thrill at the moment. Dating multiple people means dealing with multiple personalities, and that shit's a mess waiting to happen. Agreed, bro. Agreed. I have a story to share. I know that I said, obviously I don't have any more questions in front of me, but I have a story to share. So I have a friend, and I've as friends, you don't talk to someone every day, right? And so I spoke to this person around the time that, like my mom passed away, and just spoke, right? They give you the, some of the generic stuff that is associated with losing someone, right? And so the other day, so I don't know, some of my friends know I work like a weird shift, like it's a rotating shift. So I've been on third shift. So third shift for me is 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., right? And my friend sent me a message, and it said, "Hey, I need you. Are you available?" Now, my job, we're not supposed to have our phones out and using them, right? So I missed the message. Okay. So the morning, I said, "Oh man," so I see the message. "Oh man, you all right? You good? Do you need anything?" And they said, and I quote, well, actually, it would be a quote. Hold on, you know what? Let me pull it up. I'm going to tell you what they said. That's why I say that's why I always try to be transparent. Hopefully this helps, someone or whatever the case may be. But let me tell you what they said. Okay. So I said, man, they told me what was going on. And I said, what the hell, man? You good? And it said in the next message, and I bullshit you not, it said, "It's cool. Take care of yourself." Right? So I don't assume shit. So I said, that sounds very dismissive. So that I don't assume, is that a goodbye, take care? And the person said, very much so. I said, wow. I said, respectfully, may I ask why? Right? Person says, so I typed that, and then I got to thinking, like, I'm not going to beg anyone to be my friend. Now, again, this is literally just my friend. And unfortunately, I have been blessed with the gift of goodbye. And it is truly something that I'm not very proud of. But like my brother's a fucking ghost. My dad's a ghost. Like, 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 I just, unfortunately, like I said, it's not anything that I'm proud of, but it's just who I am. So they said, hey, I tried to be there for you when it came down. I'm reading the message. When it came down to your well-being, about your mom, call and text, no response. Tried to reach out several occasions, no response. And so I was like, now this is after I actually sent a voice message and said, yo, I'm not about to be begging nobody. This is how you feel. I respect it. And I was literally blown away by this. And so what am I tripping here? So literally all this person has said to me for the most part is asking me about like how I am mentally, which again I appreciate. But they literally discontinued a friendship because of me missing this message when they quote unquote needed me. Now look, let me say this. If you're my friend and you miss a call and I need you, I don't fucking hold it against you. You know what I'm saying? I don't really be like, you ain't shit because of it. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, I just want to share that I just thought that was real shitty. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read some of, because I saw y'all talking. I saw Jamel say, "Let's hear a testimony." So that was just me venting, right? Because I mean, obviously this person wasn't a true friend from the beginning. I don't need anybody to tell me that, but I was just sharing a stupid ass experience. So, this is some good juicy stuff here. Let's see here. Dated multiple means person. Okay, wait, I got that already. So Jamel said, "Have you dated multiple people?" Oh wait, no, okay, wait, I missed the message. So Keisha said, "So you'll know within the first few messages whether or not you like someone. It doesn't take multiple dates or dating multiple people." Jamel says, "Well, have you dated multiple people? Let's hear a testimony." That's what I like, man. I like that. Give me some testimony. So Lick says, "So answer this. What happens when you start getting intimate with some of these multiples and then don't say because I ain't hearing that?" So I'm gonna read that again. So when you start getting intimate with some of these people, some of these multiples, and you don't say, then now it creates a whole certain problem. So I agree that this is part of the problem, because we sit here and we talking on this live like it's literally just, well, hey, I'm gonna go out on a date on Monday, I'm gonna go out on a date on Tuesday, right? That's how we're talking. But in all reality, it's much more than that. There's a level of intimacy. I'm gonna read it again, Lick. I'm gonna read it verbatim, because you saying this shit like I'm reading it wrong. There's not one piece of punctuation in that motherfucker except for the word ain't. Okay? So answer this. What happens when you start getting intimate with some of those multiple people and don't say you don't because I ain't hearing that? So I'm gonna type the shit on the screen how it's supposed to be punctuated because that would make a difference. Question mark would be great. Like commas or something. But I've read it. I got it. I appreciate it, bro. I'll just fuck with you, man. So, Lick. So I've been shouting out people. Lick is a good friend of mine. He has an album dropping. It's gonna be on on Apple Music and shit. So download his shit too. Look, if you got the link already, I think I saw it was like dated out and maybe like it's maybe not released yet, but aspiring artist. Yes. Okay. So I think that we need to. Oh, there you go. 122.12. We need to be more honest with each other about this, because it really be, well, I'm dating this guy, fucking him. You just spread yourself too thin. I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to, you know. And I'm not saying people are having multiple sex partners, but I will say that sometimes people are having multiple sex partners, and then the shit really gets blurred. So, let's see what Shatoya got here. I don't know why I'm hitting the phone now. The phone's shaking. I think there's a difference between dating, exclusive relationship, engagement, and marriage. I understand dating to be a process of exploring new people and finding the person that you can't. Gotta hit the more button. That you can't live without. Exclusivity and monogamy should never be assumed. Like, you really think you taking me completely off the market for a steak dinner? Bam. Well, heard it there first. Motherfucker take more than the motherfucking steak dinner. Motherfucking steak dinner and bread pudding. just, yes, there's definitely some out there sending good morning texts thinking that's what it takes. So, shit, I mean, and we'll probably say that for another time, but it's like, well, damn, obviously a steak dinner ain't it. Obviously the good morning text ain't it. Then we're going to say, well, hey, being consistent ain't, that's what we want. Now, think about this. He's consistent, got the steak dinner, check, got the good morning, but he doesn't meet the financial standard, so his ass is out the door. And because you're dating 3 people, then his ass is grass. That leaves 2. Somebody else's ass is grass. But you know what? You're not committing too fast because you want to make sure you got the one. So instead of you fucking picking one, you just slid 2 and 3 out and then slid 2 more. So you're still at 3. See how all that shit just built on top of each other? Boom, boom, boom. I just felt like I just did Tetris. And the shit turned, it was like... If I had a mic, I'd drop it right there. Evaluation of character in various situations. How do we eliminate multiple people, and how many dates with one person before you decide I'll give them a chance? Well, I tell you, it ain't the first one because the motherfucking steak dinner ain't enough. So if you send a good morning message and it didn't work because that ain't enough, you did the motherfucking steak dinner, that ain't enough. So it ain't going to be after date 1, I can tell you that right now. But somebody did say that they knew in the first few conversations, though. So maybe you get to save your $140 plus your $20 tip. So you'll save $160 plus your $10 parking. So maybe you'll save that, what, $160? And you go somewhere, you might tip one of the homeless people, give them a little bit of money. You tip the valet, you save that $200. Because that's what's going to be before you know it. Couple drinks, a nightcap or something. So, dates, that's a thing. Of course it's a thing. I mean, don't do that. Do not sit and talk like guys do not take you guys on dates. That is not true at all. Women go out on dates. Stop faking the funk. Guys do want to take you out. And I can tell you what, if you found a bummy dude who doesn't want to take you out, there's enough people that want to take you out. So, I mean, it is what it is. Lick. What about women using niggas for a free meal date? I ain't touching that, bro. Um, I ain't touching that. And Toya say it's mandatory. So, mm, mm, mm. You heard the woman. So 11:45. 11:45. So I want to take this moment and thank everybody who tuned in. I had so much fun, so much fun. I don't even know how long we've been going. Um, where's the timer on this? An hour and 59 minutes. We are 45 seconds from 2 hours. Yikes. I could split this up and did like two parts. Um, again, I want to thank everybody. I'm gonna do it again soon. I don't have a frequency in which I want to do it. I know at least a week, at once a week. But I had so much fun, I might do it again. I might just hop back on tomorrow. So thank you everybody for tuning in to Nobody Listens to Lance. I will tag everybody if you drop a question when I ask for it, so that we can talk about it. And that's it, man. Y'all be safe, stay coronavirus free, use gloves, wash your hands, all that good shit. I got a game next Sunday. Y'all can pull up. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out, good people.